Hello, one more time I go into my Context is Everything series. This is a verse that I've used a lot and probably annoys me the most in the way it's used. Basically, people who look at suffering in the world and suffering they go through themselves often come to ministers, pastors and ask them, why does God allow these things to happen? And very often the pat answer that is given is, God says my thoughts are not your thoughts, or my ways your ways. So here we do question. Such pat answers mean nothing, okay? They don't get anywhere. They don't really deal with the problem of suffering. It's not an easy get out. It's taken totally out of context, as I'm going to show you. But also, the idea that that sort of thing is, we don't question God. If these things happen, it's all within His will. Did you know that in the Holocaust, whenever they liberated one of the camps, they found someone who had inscribed on the wall, someone who most likely is gone, burnt to ashes. And they put on the wall, it's okay, I have forgiven God. I know believers who think that's utter blasphemy to say that about God, but you have to understand what that person saw and what they went through. And in their heart, maybe in the midst of their Jewish faith, they weren't necessarily all Jewish, because they're also communists, socialists, trade unionists, homosexuals and gypsies in the concentration camps. But the vast majority were Jews. But someone who had some faith in God had written that because they had to forgive God for what they saw, the horrors and the atrocities. And just saying, my ways are not your ways, doesn't cut it. Particularly because you're taking that verse from Isaiah 55, which is one of the most beautiful chapters in Scripture. And what it means is that God says, my ways are higher than yours, because you will not be willing to forgive the way I forgive. You will not be willing to restore people the way I will restore them. You don't understand. He says, let the wicked forsake their way and come to me, and I will freely pardon. And then he says, because my thoughts are not your thoughts, nor are your ways my ways. It's such a beautiful chapter. Let me just read it to you. Sit back and enjoy it. Come, all you who are thirsty, come to the waters. And you who have no money, come, buy and eat. Come, buy wine and milk, without money and without cost. Why spend money on what is not bread, and your labour on what does not satisfy? Listen to me and eat what is good, and you will delight in the richest of fare. Give ear and come to me, listen that you may live. I will make an everlasting covenant with you, my faithful love promised to David. See, I have made him a witness to the peoples, a ruler and commander of the peoples. Surely you will summon nations you know not, and nations you do not know will come running to you, because of the Lord your God, the Holy One of Israel, for he has endowed you with splendour. Seek the Lord while he may be found, call on him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake their ways and the unrighteous their thoughts. Let them turn to the Lord, and he will have mercy on them. And to our God, for he will freely pardon. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. As the rain and the snow come down from heaven, and do not return to it without watering the earth, and making it bud and flourish, so that it yields seed for the sower and bread for the eater, so is my word that goes out from my mouth. It will not return to me empty, but will accomplish what I desire, and achieve the purpose for which I sent it. You will go out in joy, and be led forth in peace. The mountains and hills will burst into song before you, and all the trees of the field will clap their hands. Instead of the thorn bush will grow the juniper, and instead of briars the myrtle will grow. This will be for the Lord's renown, for an everlasting sign that will endure forever. Isn't that just beautiful? Doesn't that really show us the love of God and what it's about? So please, stop taking that verse out of context. Stop giving pat answers to people when they want to know how you struggle with these problems, because they are problems. It's not in context, because the context is simple. He loves more than we love. He forgives more than we forgive. We don't grasp it, we don't understand it, because we are not like his heart. We are different. And if we want vengeance on our enemies, he says, love your enemies. If we want someone to suffer for what they've done to us, he is willing to forgive the person that takes suffering away from them. And so, there's where we've got it wrong. So please remember it in context. And remind yourself how much God really does love and forgive all of us. Thank you. Because it really is. Always, ever, only, forever. Jesus. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell icon below if you want notifications of any new vlogs I'm making. Here's a couple here you can sample. There's also a link below to my blog website where I've been writing blogs for a number of years on various topics if you like reading some things. And I hope to see you again next time.